Infant Saint Father, you
have redeemed us, Lord, from every tribe, tongue, and people and nation, and have made us into a kingdom, priests for our God. Hallelujah.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with you all.
And with your spirit.
Brothers and sisters, let us acknowledge our sins, and so prepare ourselves to celebrate the sacred mystery. I confess
To Almighty God, and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have greatly sinned in my thoughts and in my words, in what I have done and in what I have failed to do, through my fault, through my most grievous fault. Therefore I ask Blessed Mary, ever Virgin, all the angels and saints, and you, my brothers and sisters, to pray for me to the Lord our God.
May Almighty God have mercy on us, forgive us our sins, and bring us to everlasting life.
Amen.
Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
Christ, have mercy.
Christ, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
Let us pray. O God, author of our freedom and of our salvation, listen to the voice of our pleading, and grant that those who you have redeemed by the shedding of your Son's blood may have life through you, and under your protection rejoice forever unharmed. Through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever. Amen. A reading from the Acts of the Apostles. When Paul came to Antioch in Pisidia, he said in the synagogue, My brothers, children of the family of Abraham, and those others among you who are God-fearing, to us this word of salvation has been sent. The inhabitants of Jerusalem and their leaders failed to recognize him, and by condemning him, they fulfilled the oracles of the prophets that are read Sabbath after Sabbath. For even though they found no grounds for a death sentence, they asked Pilate to have him put to death. And when they had accomplished all that was written about him, they took him down from the tree and placed him in a tomb. But God raised him from the dead, and for many days he appeared to those who had come up with him from Galilee to Jerusalem. These are now his witnesses before the people. We ourselves are proclaiming this good news to you, that what God promised our fathers he has brought to fulfillment for us, their children, by raising up Jesus, as it is written in the second psalm, You are my son, this day I have begotten you. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
You are my son, this day I have begotten you.
You are my son, this day I have begotten you.
I myself have set up my king on Zion, my holy mountain. I will proclaim the decree of the Lord. The Lord said to me, You are my son, this day I have begotten you.
You are my son, this day I have begotten you.
Ask of me, and I will give you the nations for an inheritance, and the ends of the earth for your possession. You shall rule them with an iron rod. You shall scatter them like an earthen disk.
You are my son, this day I have begotten you.
And now, O kings, you give heed. Take warning, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice before him. With trembling rejoice.
You are my son, this day I have begotten you.
Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia.
Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia.
I am the way, the truth, and the life, says the Lord. No one comes to the Father except through me.
Alleluia, alleluia, alleluia.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit,
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You have faith in God. Have faith also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If there were not, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again and take you to myself, so that where I am, you always may be. Where I am going, you know the way." Thomas said to him, "Master, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way?" Jesus said to him, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Good morning.
Good morning, Father.
So, this line, as many things, remind me of movies. I probably watched too many movies. But this line that we hear Jesus say, "You have faith in God, have faith also in me." I'm reminded of the final scene of the movie Braveheart, which is probably one of Mel Gibson's best movies. And the premise of the movie is, of course, it's Scotland, and he's William Wallace. I'm told that this is terribly inaccurate historically, but whatever. It's a good movie. It's a very manly movie in the sense of, like, I think any man that watches this movie, most of us would be like, yeah, because it's all about war and stuff like that. But the whole point is, like, he is rallying the Scots, the Scottish, nations, who at the time are under the thumb of the English, and he starts this rebellion, and he's very successful until he gets betrayed, blah, 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 blah. Well, Robert the Bruce is like the rightful heir of the royal line. He's the rightful king of Scotland or whatever. So the entire movie, it's William Wallace trying to convince him to unite the clans. Well, at the end of the movie, you see the Scottish army and the English army again facing off on a battlefield. And Robert the Bruce, William Wallace is dead. And he says this to all the Scots. And Wallace's lieutenants, his trusting men, are in the front of this battle army. And he says, "You have bled with Wallace. Now bleed with me." And Seamus, who was Wallace's best friend, some people say when I have a big beard I look like Seamus, because he's got a big red beard. He takes his claymore and throws it into the middle of the field, and it theatrically sticks into the ground, which would have been terribly hard to do. And that becomes that, and then they rally and they charge. But the reason why I think that it comes to mind is because it's like, in that moment, Robert the Bruce is saying, hey, you experienced victory with Wallace. Trust in me as well, that I can bring you to victory. And so I think in a more perfect and beautiful way, Jesus is saying that, you trust in God, you have faith in God. Have faith in me as well, because I come from God. I and the Father are one. Jesus, you will always win with Jesus, because God always wins. Now, it doesn't always feel like you're winning, but every war has its setbacks. Every battle has its setbacks. But at the end of the day, the winning side is the Lord. And so, to trust in that victory that we find through Christ. To not be discouraged when you fall, or when something happens that shakes you and causes you to maybe lose your footing for a moment. But stand up and say, all right, Lord, I trust in you, I have faith in you. You are the way, you are the truth, you are the life. I renew my commitment, and I'm going to continue to move forward. Because at the end of the day, God always wins. Let us stand together and offer our prayers and petitions to our Heavenly Father. For the church throughout the world, that we will have an increase of faith, hope, and charity, and in every moment keep our eyes fixed on the Lord, who is the way, truth, and life. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For all of those who are sick and suffering, especially those afflicted by the coronavirus, that they will find healing, peace, and strength in the midst of the sickness. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For an increase of trust and hope in our world and in our country, that we may turn away from fear and trust the Lord will provide. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For all our political leaders, locally and nationally, worldwide, that they will enact laws and policies in conformity with truth, justice, and the common good. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For all of our first responders, our medical personnel, our nurses, doctors, and those who care for the sick and the elderly, that they may find strength and courage and renewal in their service. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
For the intention of this Mass, and for all the intentions we hold in the silence of our hearts. We pray to the Lord.
Lord, hear our prayer.
Heavenly Father, we offer these petitions, and we ask that in your love you may grant them according to your holy will. We ask this through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Lord God of all creation, for through your goodness we have received the bread we offer you. Fruit of the earth, the work of human hands, will become for us the bread of life.
Blessed be God forever.
Blessed are you, Lord God of all creation, for through your goodness we have received the wine we offer you. Fruit of the vine and work of human hands will become our spiritual drink.
Blessed be God forever.
Pray, brethren, that my sacrifice and yours may be acceptable to God, the Almighty Father.
May the Lord accept the sacrifices at your hands for the praise and glory of his name, for our good and the good of all his holy church.
Accept in compassion, Lord, we pray, the offerings of your family, that under your protective care they may never lose what they have received, but attain the gifts that are eternal. Through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
Lift up your hearts.
We lift them up to the Lord.
Let us give thanks to the Lord our God.
It is right and just.
It is truly right and just, our duty and our salvation, at all times, to acclaim you, O Lord, but in this time above all to laud you yet more gloriously, when Christ our Passover has been sacrificed. For with the old order destroyed, a universe cast down is renewed, and integrity of life is restored to us in Christ. Therefore, overcome with paschal joy, every land, every people exults in your praise, and even the heavenly powers with the angelic hosts sing together the unending hymn of your glory as they acclaim.
Holy, holy, holy Lord God of hosts, heaven and earth are full of your glory. Hosanna in the highest. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest.
You are indeed holy, O Lord, the font of all holiness. Make holy, therefore, these gifts, we pray, by sending down your Spirit upon them like the dewfall, so that they may become for us the body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. At the time he was betrayed and entered willingly into his passion, he took bread, and giving thanks, broke it, and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and eat it. For this is my body, which will be given up for you." In a similar way, when supper was ended, he took the chalice, and once more giving thanks, he gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it. For this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me." The mystery of faith. Save us.
Savior of the world, for by your cross and resurrection, you have set us free.
Therefore, as we celebrate the memorial of his death and resurrection, we offer you, Lord, the bread of life and the chalice of salvation, giving thanks that you have held us worthy to be in your presence and minister to you. Humbly we pray that, partaking of the body and blood of Christ, we may be gathered into one by the Holy Spirit. Remember, Lord, your church, spread throughout the world, and bring her to the fullness of charity, together with Francis, our Pope, and Carl, our Bishop, and all the clergy. Remember also our brothers and sisters who have fallen asleep in the hope of the resurrection, and all who have died in your mercy. Welcome them into the light of your face. Have mercy on us all, we pray, that with the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God, with blessed Joseph, her spouse, with the blessed apostles, and all the saints who have pleased you throughout the ages, we may merit to be co-heirs to eternal life, and may praise and glorify you through your Son, Jesus Christ. Through him, and with him, and in him, O God, Almighty Father, as we await the blessed hope and the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ.
For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours now and forever.
Lord Jesus Christ, who said to your apostles, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give you," look not on our sins, but on the faith of your church, and graciously grant her peace and unity in accordance with your will, who live and reign forever and ever.
Amen.
Peace and the Lord be with you always.
And with your spirit.
Lamb of God,
You take
Take
away
away the sins of the world. Have mercy on us.
Lamb
Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world. Have mercy on us. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of the world. Grant us peace.
behold the Lamb of God, behold him who takes away the sins of the world. Blessed are those called to the supper of the Lamb.
Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but only say the word, and my soul shall be healed. So our Lord was handed over for our transgressions, and was raised again for our justification. Hallelujah.
In solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Christ who cannot be with us in this moment, we pray. My Jesus, I believe that you are present in the blessed sacrament. I love you above all things, and I desire you in my soul. Since I cannot now receive you sacramentally, come at least spiritually into my heart, as though you were already there. I embrace you and unite myself wholly to you. Permit not that I should ever be separated from you. And as a reminder, when receiving on the hand, have your dominant hand underneath, and then bring your hands up. And when you receive the Eucharist, then make sure there's no crumbs in your hand.
Amen. Amen.
Soul of Christ,
sanctify me. Body of Christ, save me. Blood of Christ, liberate me. Water from the side of Christ, wash me. Passion of Christ, strengthen me. O good Jesus, hear me. Within your rules hide me. Suffer me not to be separated from you. From the malignant enemy defend me. In the hour of my death, call me and bid me come to you. That with your saints I may praise you forever and ever. Amen.
Let us pray. Keep safe, O Lord, we pray, those whom you have saved by your kindness, that, redeemed by the passion of your Son, they may rejoice in his resurrection, who lives and reigns forever and ever.
Amen.
This is a reminder we will not have Mass or streamed Mass Saturday morning tomorrow at 9 a.m. because we are resuming our weekend Masses of 5:30. Well, 5:30 Mass, 8 o'clock in Cherryville. The 10 o'clock Mass on Sunday will be the streamed Mass, and then the noon Mass will be English, so that we can split the 10 o'clock crowd in two between the 10 and the noon. So, pray everything goes smoothly. It's going to be awesome. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
May Almighty God bless you, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Go in peace.
Thanks be to God.
And let us pray together for the protection of our families, our parishes,